النقاش راح يكون لازم اللي هو أن كيف تكون. الصراحة ما أعرف أشرحها بالعربي. Hey Kate.
Like I'm being set up, Noor. Good morning.
So what I was trying to reach is like I think if I'm gonna be a father and I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna let them do the things I didn't achieve in my life, the things I didn't have the opportunity to achieve them, because I believe wholeheartedly, like part of my soul gonna be transferred to my son. So a lot of things, a lot of good things, my son gonna live them. I'm gonna feel them. It's kind of something it's connected in somehow. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes, it does. But God said the son cannot pay for the sins of the father, right? So there is a point where that is not true. Like, what about if you have a kid and they're the bad apple or the bad seed? Is that part of your soul being transferred? There are bad kids,
Yeah,
right?
but the apple will not fly away or fall away of the tree.
Exactly. So you don't want your soul to be in that bad apple. There's got there's a disconnect when you have a kid. Like you're not like they're an individual. You think your soul's with them, but it's not. It's just weird. It's like a gift from God. They've been gifted to you. They are part of you,
But the
but they're
thing is
not
about the
at the
bad
same
apple,
time.
like if you got a son and he's a bad apple, it's got something wrong. Like you did something wrong back in the day. It's kind of a punishment of the destiny. It's kind of karma, right? Me. So,
It's not
like, if you are a bad person, of course you're gonna bring a lot of bad kids.
it's not possible. You can that child cannot be held accountable for that person's sins. That's not how God operates. You can be born into circumstances, but you cannot be born into the sin of your father or mother. Like their circumstances can make your life be subject to their sins, but on like a morality scale, no, they are not born with the sins of their mother or father. Everybody's born like with a clean slate to move forward and create their own sins. That kid could be born into that shitty little life with that mom and dad. And then like because of lifestyle, yeah, suffer and become the same kind of sinner. Are you gonna have some
But
bad apples more?
okay, Kate, can I ask you the right question? Like, you got a kid, don't you wish to give him things
I
you
don't
didn't
have kids, Nora. I
do?
don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, sorry. If you have a kid, like, don't you wish to give him the things you didn't have in your life, in your salad days?
Are you talking like financially or spiritually or what?
Everything.
To be honest, if I were a parent in this day and age and I wanted them to have the things I didn't, I would want them to have the things I did because right now kids have everything and then they have too much. There's an overabundance of what they can have. And I think it's creating like shitty character. So really, I think now if I had kids, I'd want them to have all the things I never had. I'd want them to have a simpler, empty life.
I kind of disagree with you. Like, if I got a kid, I'm gonna make him a good student, a bookworm, to be honest. I'm gonna make him focus on his study. I'm gonna make him not reliable.
I agree with
I'm
you.
gonna make
Yeah.
him the things like I was okay. Like, my mom, she spoiled me. She pampered me, and that's really backfired. I don't want my kid to be like me when I was a kid. Got me? I want him to be the opposite. I want him to be the
What
best
did she
version of
spoil you
me.
with? Toys? Or what? Affection? Like what is
Mm,
what?
like I born in a silver spoon and this kind of things. Like she handed to me everything. I didn't do any effort. Like I was 20 years old and she was always kept helping me. Then I realized what my mom do is wrong. I should be independent. Got me? Like even when I went to the college, she made a salary in my name and I was receiving a lot of money. So I didn't have to work. So my mom, she helped me more than once, twice. I can't even count them. That the thing she did to me, it was out of kindness and motherhood and her duty as she thinks, but it was wrong. I should be independent because when I graduated, I found I got no gifts, no craft. Like I can only teach English, and in the government field, they don't need me because they got a lot of teachers. So I need to have another skill. I didn't have the another skill, the side project, because I didn't have the desire to learn them because I was given everything. So I'm not gonna make my son like me. I'm gonna teach him to be the opposite. Okay? I'm gonna help him when he needs help, but I'm not always gonna help him if he don't need me. You need to realize
Right.
like life. Yeah. Right. Sorry.
I agree. Like kids need to they need to work harder for what they get from their parents. That's exactly what I mean.
Exactly. Like kids need to learn. Like not everything gonna be handed to them. They need to work to have it. Okay, like when you're gonna sit on the tree, the apple not gonna fly to your head. You need to jump to do an effort so you can have it. The same goes with this life. Like when you need a car, you need to work to have that car. When you need to buy a new phone, you need to work to have that new phone. Okay?
Interesting thing too is kids crave that kind of discipline. Like kids that get everything they want are more unhappy than kids that have to work for it. And like kids want a structure. Like even criminals, like that's why so many people in prison go to Islam because Islam is so structured and it gives them like these boundaries that they have to work within and these guidelines. And children as well, like kids that parents give them everything they want are like miserable children. And the kids that suffer a little bit and have like few things and then the few things they have they're valued, like those children have better character.
But don't you think like if we spoil our kids, like that gonna be backfired? Like if we go back and check the news and what was going on, like a lot of kids or teenagers who committed a lot of crimes, they were spoiled by their family. They've been handed everything they got. Everything they have has been given to them. So that's why they started to be depressed because they got nothing to do. They are jobless. They can't work. They can't do anything. So that's one of the reasons why they became murderers and psychopaths. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and then how special do you feel if somebody just gives you everything you want so they don't have to deal with you? And then, it's kind of like you're just being pushed to the side with things instead of like that attention, because it takes a lot of attention to make a kid have to do things. I think a parent makes their own life easier by spoiling their kids as well. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that.
That's kind of like addiction. Like, hey, when you're gonna give the drugs each and every day to that person, so what if you can give him more? So he's gonna kill you to have more. The same goes with your kids. When you're gonna give them everything they need, cars, money, anything. So when you stop giving them that, they got no recourse to reach this kind of things unless by using you. So they're gonna be harsh to you.
Again, I think kids crave having, like, I think a child would rather have nothing and like a little bit of discipline than have everything and no discipline. Kids will behave in a bad way just even to get negative attention. It's interesting. Like you think, oh, they'll only do good things to get that positive attention. No, they'll also do bad to get attention, even if it's negative. And I just thought about it. You know, all those YouTubers you see on YouTube, I'm like, these people have more money than I knew anybody could have on a daily basis. I'm like, it's this generation of like these spoiled, rotten teenagers that have access to go purchase endless Lamborghinis and make fucking YouTube streams. Like, I don't see anything quality in a lot of their personalities. And they display themselves. I know it's like a production and they're on YouTube, but they all seem to have a common personality trait, which is like, it's just, it's, you can't even be around it. You can't even watch it. They're so like terrible as people. I'd literally rather watch the people in Africa like building baskets with nothing than the spoiled rotten shit kids of YouTube that have everything and they're like buying the next Gucci collection. Like it's just so nauseating. I don't even want to be part of that. No, I think kids are in that type of generation that these kids are all watching, even the poor kids are watching the rich kids. It's just like it's empty and the kids are going to
You
be
just reminded
miserable.
me of that quote, like hard time breeds better men. Like you
Exactly.
can give,
Exactly.
yeah, like you can give your kids what they need, but if they want to go extra mile, let them depend on themselves. Got me? Like if you want to go farther, okay, go ahead, go for it, but you should be alone. Like he needs to learn how he gonna fight his own battles. That's how you're gonna create good soldier.
Best lesson learned in life was like my first job. I moved away from home and I was working. And my parents, they didn't spoil me. Like I had a beautiful life and great parents, but I wasn't spoiled in excess, but I was spoiled in the regard that they always had my back, always. Like there's nothing that could have been done where they would have not had my back. And so I get to my new job and I called in sick to work. And like the job did not give a fuck I was sick. But of course, and then when I called my parents, they cared so much I was sick, right? And it was just like, it was a weird thing to leave your family and then go to the world, and the world does not give a fuck. It was like a real eye opener. I'm like, oh, my parents, like I can do no wrong with my family, but the world does not give a fuck. It was a good lesson. But my parents spoiled me in ways of like unconditional support. And I think that's bad too from a parent. As good as it is and loving, I think it's also bad. I could probably go murder and they would have my back no matter what. Even if I was a serial killer, I don't imagine they would shun me.
Yeah, but my family are different, exactly the opposite. Like anything gonna happen, they're gonna be against me, and I have to justify myself. And even if I did that, that's not enough. They always gonna see me like like X. No, none of them believe me for a second. That's precisely why like it's effect on my mentality. Like I don't like to explain myself to people because I was afraid even if I try, they're gonna misjudge me. So I was always quit when people blame me for everything, and I let people explain me the way they want. It's kind of childhood trauma,
Like you were always being
especially the
accused of stuff
comparison.
and you wouldn't speak up for
Yeah,
yourself because there's no point.
many times. Like if you see me the black sheep, so I am the black sheep. Move on. The thing is like I hate this kind of thing. Um, like when my mom was doing, like she was always making some sort of comparison between me and another boy. Like, look to that boy, he's better than you. He's achieved that and that and that and that. Like I achieved a lot of things, but mm, I even surpassed myself. But for them, that's not enough because there is a person who achieved something in, in his life. Like it's always gotta be comparison. It's always challenge I should make with people I don't even know their names. And many parents they do that on daily basis, right?
Do you think your life was unbalanced because your dad passed away and your mom had to compensate through other ways, him not being there, like emotionally too?
My mom she filled that gap, to be honest. Like I didn't feel like I'm alone or I need a father, but I miss this kind of feeling to
No, but
be.
maybe she was hard on you extra because he wasn't there.
She wasn't
She
hard
was
on me. I always
frustrated about
mentioned.
that, and it kind of maybe came out against you in that way.
But the thing is, like, I was thinking, like, if my father was alive, maybe he gonna be bad to me because I was always angry, and of course, I took that from my father. So I didn't like me to be raised by another man who looks like me because I can't accept me. Got me? I know it's kind of complicated. So I was kind of like saying it's a blessing in disguise. My father, he passed away when when I was a child. Hello.
I know what you mean by that sick statement you just made. I really do.
Yeah, like
I
sometimes you
don't even
hear
want to say it
something.
out. I can't say it out loud. Like,
No, no, go ahead, say it.
can't. I can't. There's like a statement I want to make so bad, but if I say it out loud, it's not a good thing. Like
Give it a
people
try.
who don't have families or
Yeah.
family members, specific, like, or even an atheist, like they have a. I don't even know if I'm envious of it or not. It's odd. I don't want to be knock on wood again, but like I don't understand my feeling about that, except that I feel like they're like free in an awful, sad sense, you know? It's a kind of freeness. I don't know how to explain it.
But believe me, people who started to be atheist or agnostic, they will never have any peace. Like questioning everything is disbelief. That's something they will never realize it.
Oh, not about the atheist, but to have no higher authority, like in the back of your mind that you live for. Like you just said, your dad can't be angry at you or
Yeah,
all these
like
things.
out
Like
of
that doesn't
shackles,
exist.
no one can control you.
Yeah.
There is no nothing like yeah.
Exactly.
Like you feel like if you've been controlled by any person, it's kinda albatross in your neck and you can't even breathe. But that's not correct. Like you can be because this is life. This is the new universe. Like something you need to adapt with. Like your company, wherever you work, it's gotta be something higher than you. They're gonna give you orders, and you need to follow them. Okay, but there is a time you're gonna be on, and you're gonna be the master of your own actions. Like in your house, when you go to the market, you're gonna buy whatever you wanna buy. When you travel to a city, you're gonna choose the city you want. It's the grass sometimes is green in the other side. You just need to look to the other side and be happy. You don't have to think about the things you missed. Because if you're going to think about that, you're not going to live your life. You're going to always keep repeating the past. And if you're going to keep living in the past, you're going to be doomed to repeat it. Like me, I think I'm under the control of my boss at my work. I do whatever he told me, and sometimes I feel I'm a slave. But at the same time, when I go out, I can do whatever I want to do. So I'm a free, and somehow, and this is life. Like what you're gonna do? You need money to survive.